Welcome to Santa Monica. I'm Bob Gerfield. I've lived in Santa Monica for over 40 years, and I'm concerned about a proposed development in our city by the Miramar Hotel. The Miramar Hotel is a luxury hotel on a beautiful site in downtown Santa Monica. It occupies a full block overlooking the Pacific Ocean, and it contains about 300 hotel rooms, including a 10-story block of hotel rooms and some low-rise bungalows, as well as some 6-story buildings of hotel rooms. The Miramar is located in a pleasant residential neighborhood consisting of condominiums and single-family homes in buildings that are no more than 4 stories high. To the south of the Miramar site is the commercial district of Santa Monica, to the south of Wilshire Boulevard, containing the 3rd Street Promenade and a number of office buildings that are, some of which go to 20 stories. The taller buildings in the area were all built prior to 1986, at which time Santa Monica imposed a 4-story limit on the height of buildings to be constructed in the city. The proposed Miramar, you can see here now, occupies a full block. It's a 12-story building of 550,000 square feet, the densest building in Santa Monica, that is number of square feet of building per square feet of lot, and it will completely transform this residential neighborhood into. I'll now show you some different views of the proposed Miramar Hotel, and some comparative views of the way the site is today and the neighborhood is today with the way it might be when we impose this white building on the site. Now, the hotel will not be white, of course, but this is a block diagram that outlines the dimensions of the building that have been proposed. And I will go a little bit further along the way to show you what it might be like to drive down or to walk down some of the streets at street level in the before and the after mode. Here we are on Wilshire and 2nd Street, and you can see the rather pleasant and low-key way it is today, with gardens of the Miramar and people crossing the street in a very easy fashion. Here we're looking down Wilshire Boulevard towards downtown. On the next block is the 3rd Street Promenade, and now we're coming back. The view comes back to 2nd Street and looks toward the ocean on Wilshire Boulevard. Now here's a similar view of Wilshire Boulevard from 2nd Street, going down towards the ocean, and immediately that low bougainvillea shaded wall is covered with a massive 12-story building on that site. If we go to the next corner of Wilshire and Ocean Avenue in Palisades Park, here's what a 360-degree view looks like of that today. Here is the Miramar today on that building. You can see it's a 10-story high-rise building, and then the low-rise buildings and the beautiful hedges and flowers on the periphery, looking again down Wilshire Boulevard. It's truly one of the most beautiful corners in any part of the coast. Now here's the projection of what the new building will, how that will change the view and the feeling of being in that special place. It's much more than human scale. Such as an overwhelming building and an overwhelming presence that just changes the feeling of being on the street there. This is the corner of Wilshire and Ocean, and you can rotate around to the beach scene and the Pacific Coast Highway below the bluff. To the north, we see California Street and the California Incline. I'll have a few more shots taken from that perspective. This is again a view from south of Wilshire Boulevard, and you can see the 20-story office building on the corner of Wilshire and Ocean in the foreground. What we are concerned about is that there will be this will be another wall along the ocean that separates Santa Monica from its beach and from its continuity with the ocean front. That is part of its charm and beauty. Here we are at 2nd Street and California Street, looking towards the ocean. On the left is the existing 6-story building on the Miramar, and on the right is a 10-story condominium tower at Ocean in California. This other tall building is the Huntley House. I think it's 18 stories, and it's been here since the early 60s. Now we're looking towards downtown on California Street. And these are some of the other residences on California and 2nd, which are 3- and 4-story buildings. Here's the existing Miramar again from the air, and here it is with the proposed new building. I might add that the new building is going to be about 265 rooms and up to 120 condominiums on this site. So it will have much more building and much more activity than even the present hotel. Now we're looking towards the California incline along California Street, and you can see that the human scale of the way the street was feeling is completely changed, because we have just a massive, overwhelming structure on the inside of the Miramar block, and that overwhelms the street itself. Here again is on Ocean Avenue and California, looking south, and you can see the Miramar on the corner and in the foreground. On the left is a condominium building, 101 California Street, that is 10 stories high. Here are the other buildings along Ocean Avenue that front on the ocean. And one of our concerns is that the owners of these lots eventually will say, well, if you can build a high-rise on the Miramar, why can't we build them here? And we will progress gradually over the next decade or so to turning Santa Monica into a Miami Beach type city with a barrier between the people of the city and the ocean front. So this is the existing Miramar, with the 10-story Miramar in the foreground and the 20-story office building on Wilshire Boulevard behind it. Now we're looking down the incline, and we will consider that, or we'll take a view of that with the imposition of the proposed Miramar. This again is California and Ocean. And most of the buildings behind it in our neighborhood are these lower residential units. I haven't mentioned the other impacts of the hotel on traffic and pollution and noise and congestion and so forth. I must say I'm in favor of modernization of the hotel, but I think this proposal is too much, too big, and overwhelms the neighborhood. I'm going to register my concerns with the Planning Commission on February 8th at the Float Up meeting, and if you are similarly inclined, please come to the meeting as well and contact the Planning Commission. Thank you very much.